A guy hired a cab, and the guy told the cab, "I'll pay for your time to wait for me while I'm doing something in the office. You wait for me downstairs. I'll pay for your time. I need you here for 3 hours." So the cab, it was a story that happened. The cab in Bnei Brak, he said, "I'm not going to wait for this guy for 3 hours. I'm going to go do some jobs in Bnei Brak. In the meantime, while I'm waiting for him," he went ahead and he started driving people around for 3 hours. And he was on time. He came back on time. The guy came down. He was downstairs. The question is, do I have to pay him for the 3 hours that he was supposed to be waiting for me downstairs? That's the question, right? So it's brought down over here in the name of the Poskim. He says that the Shevet Levi, Rabbi Wazner, one of the biggest Poskim that lived in Israel, he says that the guy who hired him is correct. Why? Because I am paying you for, wasting your time and sitting and waiting here. You're not wasting your time. You're going making money. So the Shevet Levi says, based on the Shulchan Aruch in Choshen Mishpat Siman Shin Lamed Gimel, HaPo'alim shemotzim melacha acheret, workers who do something else in the meantime, en chiyuv b'tashlumin, you don't have to pay them for the time that they were waiting. However, he says, in the end of the day, he could have gotten a better job to go drive long distance and made more money. And that you were holding him back from doing. So for that, he says, you should really do to give him at least a third of the money that you promised him, or tops half of the money. That's what Rav Shmuel Halevi Vazner Paskins. However, the author of this Shelot V'Tshuvot book, he writes, Shamati migdolei ha'orah, I heard from the biggest poskim who live in my generation, she'ena minhag ken, that's not the minhag, and the minhag is chayav l'shalem lanahag sachar shalem. You should pay him the entire sum, completely, even if he did work in the meantime. Because you held him hostage over here, you limited him over here. Now he doesn't bring down the reasoning and the psak, but he says the Gedolei HaPoskim say this. Now I want to share with you a halacha that is more important than all the halachot that we learn. Right now, there's a lot of, not right now, always in our community, there's a lot of big machloket, a lot of big problems, a lot of beddins, a lot of psak, a lot of fighting, a lot of arguing. Even amongst Talmidei Chachamim, even amongst rabbis, because the rabbis, L'Shem Shamayim, I think this is the right thing, and he says, I think this is the right thing. But the most important halacha that we forget many times is, the Torah tells you, Lo tasu midivrehem yaminu smol. What the Chachamim tell you, you cannot deviate right or left. Meaning, says the Ramban and Rashi explains, that if the Chachamim tell you that your right hand is your left hand, and your left hand is your right hand, do not deviate. You have to follow them. In Shamayim, even though you think they're 100% wrong, in Shamayim, if you go with your gut feeling against the Chachamim, even if you're Talmid Chacham yourself, there's Poskim, there's Avbedins, there's people, if you go against them, you will be punished. But if you go with their words, even though you think they're wrong,
even if they're wrong,
if you go with their word, with their words, not only you will not get punished, you will get rewarded for doing the right thing. And you'll end up being the winner in the end. Hashem will make sure you'll be blessed. Now we have a halacha like this. It doesn't make sense. Why am I paying for him? He went and he worked. He made money. Chachamim said that's the psak. Even if you don't understand, because you don't know Shas and Poskim and all the depths of all the Achronim and the Rishonim, you follow the Da'at Torah of the Chachamim. Now the Ramban says there's 2 reasons. Really there's 5 reasons, but the Ramban says there's 2 reasons why you always have to follow the Chachamim. One reason is, he says, because Hashem will not let him make mistakes. Hashem gives them special siyata d'shmaya to see the truth, much more than anybody else, first of all. And second of all, he says, even if they do make a mistake, Hashem changes the world to follow their psak.
wow.
The Ramban says Hashem will change the world to follow the psak of the Chachamim. And it's a very deep topic, but basically we have to get that into our heads. Lo tasu midivrei yaminu smol, the Ran says that will be one of the tests in the end of days when Mashiach will come. The Ran says when Mashiach will come, the test of the generation will be, will they really trust the Chachamim or not?